Okay, we're going to be doing something a little different today. I have talked about this a little bit in the past. I haven't really done anything with it yet. So, I've talked about grinding glass into sand. Well, this is what that looks like. This has gone through a hammer mill, and it's been crushed down pretty fine. I didn't want to go too fine with it, and this actually has a little bit of plastic and other stuff in it from things that were still attached to the picture tubes as I ground them. But this went through a 10mm screen, and broke up pretty fine. I doubt the biggest piece in here is even 10mm. It's probably less than that. Glass just shatters as you break it apart. So that's what this looks like. And today I'm going to be making some concrete block. This looks like this. This is one I did a few weeks back. So you can see it's got a nice pattern here, very smooth on the outside. Inside is pretty rough. This is the top surface of the mold. So these, and they have holes in them where you can stake them together and form boxes out of them. So by taking the glass sand and putting it into a concrete matrix, you encapsulate the lead that's in the glass, and it can't leach out. It reacts with the materials in the concrete. I've got one over there that broke in half, probably because I demolded it too early. But so today I've got 94 pounds of Portland cement, just plain Portland, no aggregate in it. And we're going to use, I've got a bucket and a half of this ground glass. So 94 pounds of cement, probably about an equal, maybe a little bit more glass, and we will go from there. See what we can get this, how this comes together. This is the mineral oil from the CRT projector TVs. Use it as a little bit of a mold release. nice little layer over the sides of the plastic molds. You don't want it too thick. Or a little bit of tooling here. It will take a few days to make because I did pouring today, but obviously I can't do demolding for at least 2 days. Put the black leather on. Do the sides on it first. Then do the bottom. You can use a little bit. I have less of a problem with cooling because you use that much of it while you're doing the sides. Okay, so those all have a good layer of mineral oil on them now. Put that away. These molds also come with pre-cut rods to go in these holes, so you can see this is the way they'll work. The guy who makes these recommends that you put Vaseline or some other mold release on the things. What I do is I just take a little piece of tape and I put it sticky side out and I just wrap it around the pole here, and I'm using aluminum duct tape here, which has a little bit of a it holds shape when you put it on. Just something I had laying around. You don't have to use it. Any other tape would work just as well. So all I'm doing here by doing that is now I've made a cylinder that goes inside the tube, and we'll make it where this has no problems coming out once I'm done molding it. Try to do all your prep before you do the concrete, or you're not worried about time. slightly too long. I was trying to see if I could do it one stretch over along it, but it's going to be hard to get the right length, and the base is a little too finicky. These molds that I bought online from another company is, we developed them, came up with the idea of, you know, came up with the idea, the idea's been around for a long time, but he has gone through the trouble of making molds out of original wood and now having them made with ABS here. So I didn't have any problem supporting him in his little bit of business endeavor, trying to help everyone out. But the molds here produce a block that is 24 inches long, about 8 inches tall, by 2.5 inches thick. If you use it to the oil all the way, which pretty much have to. The holes are centered on 1.5 inch, so they have roughly an inch coverage all the way around the hole for strength. You can go in and add reinforcing wire or something like that if you really want to. I don't think there's a big need for reinforcement, given how the size of these blocks. And you have to have one of the first ones that I made cracked in half, like I said, but I think that was because I demolded it too early. I am not known for my patience. This way now. Yeah, I wish the process for this was faster, because I'd like to produce a bunch of these blocks for my own garden. But it is what it is. Concrete, you have to form it up. It takes at least 2 days before you can demold and put these molds back into service. So you can see what I've done here. The inside of the mold has a good coating of mineral oil as a release. The little bit of tape that I put on here will prevent the concrete from sticking to the rod, so they'll come out easily. Now I'm going to mix up concrete and we'll put it in the molds here. That's about a half a bucket of glass. We'll try and do about a half at a time here. As said, this is straight Portland, no aggregate. This is roughly an equal portion of Portland cement. I think we can do more glass. Okay, that's now tossed around a good bit. We'll add some water to it. Not adding a lot of water. It's easier to take water out than it is to add it. So I'm just putting maybe not even this whole bucket yet. Still a lot of dry areas on it. Still too much dry. It does not take a lot of water, so be very careful with it. Yeah, this looks pretty good. It's all holding together nicely, not just falling off. So that should do well. And more importantly, the glass all seems to be incorporated in everything. Yeah, there is still a little bit of dryness on the back side. Need to get something to go under here to make it easier to get out. Without spilling concrete all over the place. Here in a second. Let's see what we got for the first one here. I'll have to go get a new trowel. Starting to think I need a little bit more water in there. I just need to vibrate it real good, which means I'm going to run in the house for a minute, grab a tool. Alright, so what I've done, since this is, now it's hard to pat this stuff in, so I went and got my multi-tool, attached a little block to it. And that just kind of liquefies it. The other thing is I can adjust the speed on that, which is nice too. You don't have to fill this thing all the way up to the brim. You can go a little short, which will help with the demold because it won't be, or help with the cleanup rather, because it won't be over the edges and need to be stretched as much. I think this one's about there. Side. We'll get number 2 over here. And if I have any left over, I'll use it on a hole in the yard. No, that's not nearly enough water for that much, but I'm just trying to clean out this bucket. Go way too much water on this one. Except there's a lot of stuff in here that's not wet yet. Better shovel. Should have started with some water in the mixer. A lot better, but still not there yet. We're not thoroughly mixed. I think we are mixed pretty good. This should just slide out. Okay, so this is a much thicker mix, thinner mix. Shouldn't need much of anything to level this one out. Did not intend to go quite this thin on it, but ooh. over wetted. And I'm going to take the rest of the concrete, what I got in this bucket and this over here, and I'll pour it over where I need some concrete fill. And we shall come back later. Okay, so I've actually left these out here for a week. So they should be completely cured. I haven't removed anything. Because of the way I do these slide right out with the inserts from the tape. Guys should pretty much just pop out of here. Like that. Now I may have to go over them on these outside edges. And remove all this stuff. If you do this before it fully cures, it'll be a lot smoother or a lot easier to remove this stuff. But I just wanted to let it sit. I just wanted to let these guys sit for a good week and see how they would come out. We got a little bit of air pockets and whatnot in here, but nothing major. This one came out a little cleaner. Both in terms of the flashing, and also had fewer holes on the surface. So those two were the second one's poured. This is the first one. First one's poured. And again, came out a little rougher. got a little bit more of a cavity right along there, but that should still be fine. And last one. Sometimes these suckers are a little harder to get out. This one came out pretty clean. So that's another set of these done. I've now got 8 of them all together. I'll let them sit and cure for you know, another couple weeks or so at least. Spray them with water a couple of times. But it makes a real good block that you can, as said, pin together to make larger structures, larger raised beds. And the idea for me is that I'm going to take at least 2 layers, if not more, possibly a 3rd layer on top of this. We got a nice deep raised bed along the front of our house. And you can just as easily use them for the backside if you want a less finished look. If you want to, you know, you could knock these high spots off here a bit. And have a much less finished look. We've got some block up front that have rough facing on them also, so I don't know if I'm going to go with this as the outside face, or if I'm going to go with the finished look. Obviously some of the ones will look a little bit more finished than others. I could technically go back with some more concrete, mix up a small batch and just smear it over this and polish it up a little bit, and it would look a little bit better. It's not really needed though. But that's going to do it for this video. So this is what I'm doing with the glass from monitors, TVs, projector TVs, all of them that have glass picture tubes. This is what I'm doing with the cement. When I don't have any glass, I can use regular aggregate cement. You know, the 50 and 50 and 80 pound bags of cement. I can make a few of these. Takes about 1 50-pound bag to make one. With the glass, I had a 94-pound bag of the Portland cement, and probably it was about 1.5 buckets, so about 7.5 gallons of crushed glass to make 4, and I probably had enough to make a 5th one if I would have had a 5th mold. So that's the one drawback, is you do need a, you know, if you're going to use it, use these nice molds that I purchased. He sells it from gardenbedmolds.com, down here, Garden Bed Molds. You know, you can purchase these. They're not inexpensive, but they make the work a heck of a lot easier. I could have built molds out of plywood, 2x4s, but getting all the measurements right so that they overlap correctly and have the holes in the correct places, I figured it was worth spending the money for. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Have a good one.